Good morning, students. Today's chapter number 6, staff morale, which is another function of the HR person. That means boosting up the morale of the employee, which is also an integral part for the performance. Now, what is the definition? The employee morale is defined as the attitude, satisfaction, and overall outlook of the employee during their association with the organization or the business. An employee that is satisfied and motivated at the workplace usually tend to give best productive effort. So morale should be high. There are different definitions which is there in your book also, and I have given here Alexander A. Layton and William R. Spiegel. Now you can read out this definition which is there in your book as well, that basically it is the capacity of the group of people to pull up together persistently and consistently. Now, what are the characteristics of morale? First characteristic is a psychological concept, and it is difficult to measure because definitely it's a psychological concept. Next, it is continuous process. It's a dynamic in nature and it's a group phenomena. Morale cannot be infused or boosted in isolation. You require to do group activity and it cannot be measured, and it's a continuous process. Now, as far as morale is concerned, you can see what are the good morale. Good morale means it is evident that when the employee is more enthusiastic in their work, they are voluntarily giving their activities to people, willingness to work and cooperate. And low morale or poor morale means somebody who is not happy, not sure, who is not giving the helping hand, disliking the job, feeling discouraged. Now, factors contributing to high morals are working condition, of course, increment, that means your salary is increasing, praise and freedom of the working, good behavior of the authorities, and provision of financial incentives. Actually, if you get this kind of things from the organization, high morale will definitely come. Now, what is the relationship between morale and productivity? You can see the matrix. This is called matrix. The top portion is high productivity, and you can see that vertically it is high morale, and horizontally see vertically it is high productivity. Now there are four aspects: high morale, high productivity, low morale, high productivity, high morale, low productivity, and low morale, low productivity. Let us go for the first one. High morale, high productivity. That means all the staffs are in a high morale and they are giving their best for the organization. This is the best condition. But this is only possible when they are getting good salary, they are getting good motivation, their leaders are very good. Number two, low productivity but high morale. In this case, maybe the leaders are not good enough to get the best from the high morale staff. The staffs are very good, high in morale. They want to give their best, but they are not used properly. Number three, high productivity but low morale. In this case, the supervisor or the leaders are very good. They are taking the best productivity, but the people or staffs are not happy working there. Number four, the last one is actually the negative one. Negative one because here low productivity and low morale. That means staff are having very less morale. They don't want to work. They just come just like that and they are not giving their best for the organization. So we can see that within matrix we can define the productivity, the relationship between the productivity and the morale. Basically, we want the first one. So, how to measure morale? Number one, you can observe the employee, their behavior pattern. You can go for the attitude survey. You can go for the survey and you can have the record also. Now, what is the observation? Normally, manager or the supervisor, they check out the employee, whether they are working properly or not, they're talking properly or not, how they are behaving during the time of break time and all. You get to know that whether the morale of the employee is nice or not, or they are high morals or not. Attitude survey, you can go for the interview method. You can set up some questionnaire. You can make them fill the questionnaire. And there are some records also kept, whether how many absentees, what kind of target fulfillment and all, whether they have gone for strikes or not. So that is how you got to know. Now, what are the factors affecting morale? Number one factor means general workers' attitude. General workers' attitude toward the supervisor, first to the company, then the supervisor, their satisfaction with the job standard, the supervisors show how they are reacting with the subordinate, how they are accepting the pressure, how they are feeling pride for the company or not, whether they are satisfied or not, where they are doing good communication with the people or not, their intrinsic job satisfaction, that means inside job satisfaction, worker satisfaction with the progress and opportunities, and their attitude towards fellow people. You get to know that whether the person having high morale or not. But one thing is that keep morale high, which is very important for the organization. You know why? Because morale results in, what are the result it brings? Basically, high level of commitment and sincerity. Number 2, it reduce the absentees. That means they don't absent from the work. It increase the discipline. It reduce the industrial conflict. Make the subordinate work easy. Supervisor work easy. Team building, employment become empowered. And what are the improvement of morale? How your morale can be improved? First, it must decide particular person who is responsible for execution of the plan. Then morale will definitely increase. Each executive should be told in written that what they should be doing. Number 3, the specific moral duties should be outlined beforehand, that what kind of things you are expecting. Last, the managers can concentrate on supervisory style, company policy, working condition and other factor, and if you can give them this kind of facility, definitely the morale of the employee will definitely become high and high. So these are the factors which is important. Now what are the maintenance of morals? The management feels that there is a need for the maintenance and improvement of morals. Now, number 1 is preventive measure and next is remedial measure. Now, what are the preventive measures an organization can take up or HRM people can take up? First, creation of whole job. That means whole job you give it to a single worker. That is how also you can give them the sense of achievement. Number 2, job enrichment. Designing the vertical slice of the task into a job and assigning it to an employee satisfy their needs. Number 3, modify the work environment. That means you create a better environment. Number 4 is development of HRM flexible working hours to provide the freedom for the worker to choose their comfortable hours so that they can give the best. Warning sign of low morale. What are the warning signs? First, high rate of absenteeism. They will not come to the office. Tiredness and high level of high labor turnover, strikes and sabotage, lack of pride in work, wastage and spoilage. The factor determining moral. What are the factors which determine the moral? Confidence in leadership. If the leaders give the confidence, definitely moral high. Job satisfaction, confidence in co-workers, sound and efficient organization, fair remuneration, that means the money or the salary, security of job, working condition, physical and mental health. These are the factors that determine the moral, whether the moral of the person will be high or not high. These are the factors which is important, especially the leadership. Now, your book has got this difference of moral depressant and moral stimulus. Now, moral depressants means meaningless and unchallenging job, poor working condition, unfriendly and unhelpful supervision, bad relatives with co-workers, unsound policies and practice of management, unhappy family life, poor public image of the company, low wage salary and allowances. Whereas all the positive sides are there in moral stimulation. Now let us start with the importance of teamwork. Now teamwork is very important because with the teamwork we can get to see that how the team is working together. Now, in case of teamwork, we have to see that what are the results of teamwork. Number 1 is higher quantity of performance, better quality of work, higher morale and motivation of staff, job satisfaction and loyalty, lack of resistance to change and low rate of absenteeism and turnover. Now, work, when you are grouping in the work or you are do group work, you should concentrate on setting the goal and priority of the group, analyze the way the work is performed and examine the relationship among the different group members. That is very important. What are the measures to build the effective team? Number 1 is member of the work group get together in a way. Number 2 is group identifies the importance problem or the joint effort of its member and is it should consult with each other. Next, after the members agree on a key problem, discussion shift to specific tactics or overcome those problems. Next is, once the problem are diagnosed and action plans are prepared, they should be implemented. In the conclusion session, the group should know the impact of the action plan. Now, let us see that why and how effective group has been formed in different organizations and what should be the factors which should be considered. Number 1, explain the purpose for building a team. Number 2, highlight the importance of teamwork in goal accomplishment. Number 3, develop a spirit of service among team members. Number 4, iron out differences in attitudes and thinking of different individuals. Number 5, point out common interest of all in the goal to be achieved. And finally, provide facilitates and support for teamwork. Now, management institution and corporate bodies are using a lot of adventurous sports to lift the morale of the employee. Thank you very much. Hope that after going through this particular video and going through your book study material, you can complete your worksheet. Thank you very much.